place is just special. We come back every year because of what it means to us. It's always a great time and it feels just like home.
It's right next door to Disneyland, so you've got the relaxing kind of magic here and the exciting kind of magic there. These folks treat you like family. It's the way everything is cared for and the way they care about us.
The Anaheim RV Park is a sanctuary to prepare for a busy day at the happiest place on earth. And it's an oasis to recharge and relax when the day is done and get ready for more happiness tomorrow. The park is a legacy passed down through 3 generations of the Bostwick Mangles family, a family committed to hospitality for nearly a century and to making guests of this park feel special for 60 years. What's behind the legacy? Let's fly back in time. L.V. Bostwick was born in Shelbyville, Missouri in 1906. The youngest of 9 children, he began life on a small farm.
When Dad was about 18, his father was diagnosed with what they called consumption, and they said he should go to a different climate.
L.V. took his mother, father, and 2 sisters to Colorado, where he became a barber and met his wife-to-be, Miriam. L.V. was a barber who believed he was destined for more. A Dale Carnegie course inspired him to borrow $50 from his father to open his own shop. And from then on, he never worked for anyone but himself. His barber and beauty supply companies thrived through World War II. But as a returning merchant marine, he set his sights on real estate and moved the family to California.
He would go into a motel, buy it, fix it up, get it running, and then sell it and go to the next one and the next one like that.
L.V. and Miriam bought and flipped numerous motels in Central and Southern California. From Needles to Bakersfield, Studio City to Venice Boulevard, Inglewood to Long Beach and Laguna Beach. It was a non-stop process of moving and fixing and selling.
Now, the man had an 8th grade education, but he was the smartest man I ever knew, and he was just always into a new venture, always learning, always moving on. An entrepreneur is what he was.
Miriam had attended business college and mastered skills that were the perfect complement to her husband's vision and determination. In 1946, they bought the 60-unit Colonial Motel on the Coast Highway in Long Beach, and the whole family pitched in to make a go of it.
And we all worked it. We all worked it. I threw many a sheets and made many a beds and did lots of wash, but it kept us all through school.
The 50s brought renewed innocence to America, and hard work and clean living made anything seem possible. By 1956, Miriam's mother and her sister owned an RV park north of Los Angeles, and L.V. became eager to find a similar property. They'd heard about a small trailer park in Anaheim and suggested he take a look.
It was called Shady Acres. He looked it all over and talked to Mr. Brown, and somehow they made a deal, bought it right out from under my grandmother and my aunt, and there was always a joke in the family that Dad got the better of the bets, you know. They were up in Goleta, and he was at Disneyland, and we laughed about it.
Shady Acres got a facelift and a new name worthy of its nearby neighbor Disneyland, which opened a year earlier. Located on Midway Drive, they rechristened the park Midway Trailer City. After selling the Colonial Motel, L.V. began buying small homes surrounding the trailer park. He bought one and cleared the lot over and over again, slowly and deliberately expanding his family's small empire. In the 60s, innocence clashed with unrest and the times were a-changin'. In the 70s, disco dominated and gas was at a premium. In the 80s, everything got big, including the hairstyles. But through it all, Disneyland became a world-famous American institution and the world's #1 tourist attraction. Changes came fast at Midway Trailer City, too. The whole family worked hard serving RV travelers on their pilgrimage to Disneyland. He also leased a 10-acre parcel to the south and added over 100 improved mobile home spaces. For the next 20 years, a community with hundreds of permanent residents lived like an extended family, nestled in the area's legendary orange trees. They added a community pool and brought in a large barracks from the nearby Marine base and made it a community gathering place.
We had bingo over there and potlucks, and it was a family. At one time we said there were 250 coaches and 750 people because there were the children and everybody.
In 1966, they built a new office to meet growing demand. Soon they opened a business to supply and repair RVs. It grew so quickly that in 1974 they bought land across the street and built a 2-story building dedicated to supplies and service, run by LV's children, Beth and Paul. LV seized yet another business opportunity and began buying and selling RVs. LV remained active in the business into his 90s. But as he aged, so did the buildings, infrastructure, and mobile homes on the West End. When Disney began to promote its new Disneyland Resort, the family tried changing the name to Anaheim Resort RV Park, but it wasn't enough. 1994 brought the news that Interstate 5 would be widened, carving away 150 feet along the entire West End. This included the well, the clubhouse, the pool. So the family removed the mobile homes and made way for more and larger RVs. RV sales and service dwindled as most items could now be bought at Camping World and Walmart. That business closed in '99. Beth's brother Paul and his sons pushed to sell everything for what amounted to pennies on the dollar. It was a dark time for the park and the family, one that resulted in a permanent rift.
The final parting with Paul when he said, just sell it. It just kind of made you think, well, what was it all for?
The early 2000s were a time of legal battles and business challenges. Facilities that hadn't been updated since the 60s, a couple of computers, and a phone system that barely worked. The park's fate was certainly uncertain.
I was so glad and felt blessed to have resolved the legal issues between my mom and her brother. I knew this place was worth fighting for. I knew in my heart what it could be and what it should be. The value of the property to me is so much more than the revenue it generates.
When Vernon came in and I could see the spark and the life and the connections and how he thought it out and how he envisioned it, it was just a whole new world.
Like his grandfather, Vern Mangels entered the business with a vision, following his own entrepreneurial career. He supervised major improvements to every aspect of the park, including a modernized office with advanced communications, fiber internet, and 5-star concierge services, a Disney-themed cafe dining room, pool and spa upgrades, super clean individual family bathrooms, and more.
Vern took a whole new approach with the staff. He really made it feel like family. It's a great place to learn the hospitality business. I've worked here for 7 years. I'm happy every day to work here. Every staff member gets customer service, computer, and front desk experience, and they get paid well. Some have already graduated and gone on to excellent jobs from the training they've got here.
Staff excellence is one reason why Anaheim RV Park is recognized by the world's most trusted travel authorities for extraordinary facilities and guest services. AAA approved, A rating from Guest Rated, #1 rated by RV Park Reviews, the recipient of TripAdvisor's Certificate of Excellence 6 years in a row, and admitted into the TripAdvisor Hall of Fame.
Most of you don't know that Walt Disney and my grandfather both began their lives in small towns in Missouri. Walt in Marceline and LV in Clarence, only about 40 miles apart. And somehow, 50 years later, they both ended up here in Anaheim, just a stone's throw from each other. It felt important to me to connect their legacies. Over the years, we've developed a close relationship with Disney, so we feel like part of their family. We're authorized to sell Disney tickets at our front counter and online, so our guests don't have to spend valuable time standing in any lines. We also have a shuttle stop and kiosk at our property as well. Those are both things typically found only at the larger local area hotels. And we're the only place on earth with a canopy that says, "Camping in Mickey's Backyard."
It's just more relaxed, it's more homey. The people are amazing.
Service is great.
Oh, they're awesome, and
Always
clean
take care of us.
facilities. It's just beautiful.
Makes you kind of tickle here. It kind of makes you feel good that they want to come and they want to be part of it, and you're actually part of it, you know, to be with them while they're having their little meetings and their gatherings and meet them.
People ask me, "Why are you still here? You could have sold this a long time ago and moved on." Sure, but we've been committed to put our money back into this park and into our community for something real and meaningful. It felt natural to Mom and me because of how my grandfather lived his life. He was all about taking care of others. His faith in God and in people, that was his true legacy. Grandpa, I sure hope you're proud of the way it looks today.